This is the Broforce Squad, wondering how sweet a bong could be made out of Dragonstone. I'm Matt Geiger alongside the mad scientist Brian Banner and Ronnie Cycli, and it's time to review Game of Thrones, Episode 2 of Season 7. We usually grade everything on 5 criteria, but since it's our own show and we do whatever the hell we want, we're going to grade it on 4. Acting, story, best scene, and theories going on throughout the show. So, Mr. Banner, we'll bring you in first for acting.
First, I'd like to be addressed as Brian of House Banner moving forward.
That sounds so badass that I might actually start doing that.
Yes, I have Bannermen. I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit here. Daenerys Stormborn fucking killed it. Is she not a fucking pimp?
Oh, she's badass in every scene.
Damn it, I really wanted that awkward silence to go on for a while. He was so sweating. Yeah, she's fucking awesome. The actress in that, I'm really looking forward to actually this series to end so she gets a lot more roles. Yeah, she just commands the screen when just commands everything about you when she's on screen. And I thought when she was around the war room and said, no, look, this is what we're going to do, and turns it over to Tyrion, who, is he not the fucking smartest person on the show? That's why he survived, is his brain. Him and Littlefinger are probably the smartest people on the show, for sure.
I think he's smarter than Littlefinger. Littlefinger's cunning. Yes, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I think he's not as cunning as Littlefinger, but I think overall Tyrion is the smartest man in that world. But I think we also underrate Varys in terms of smartness. Where did Varys come from? Look where he is now. So he might be up just as smart and cunning as Littlefinger.
He also had a really great scene in this show. I'm gonna take Yara Greyjoy for acting. She's a lesbian. Does everyone get that?
Wait, I missed that.
I would like to see more video proof.
We all need to get it so HBO can just go through with it. And if this was taking place in, let's say, 2017, what sport do you think she'd play, Banner?
Like softball, maybe?
Yeah, probably. That'd probably be the sport that she'd play. I'm just
definitely.
The character development on all these characters is, to a point where I don't think we need to go home anymore that she's a lesbian and have a bunch of lesbian sex scenes anymore. HBO has HBO Night for that.
Complaining about lesbian sex scenes?
When it's her, yeah, she's not even that attractive. So that was mine. What about you, Cycli?
I'm attracted to strength and confidence.
What about you, Cycli?
So I guess I'll kind of go a little different. So, I think I've always thought the acting on this show for all the seasons has been, one of its strongest points. So I'm actually going to go the opposite of acting that stood out. And I think they've been kind of unpopular throughout. Is the Sand sisters and the Sand family, Eliara, the mom, that whole group, I think, has been terrible acting. I don't know if it's terrible writing, corny writing. That whole line, to your point, Matt, about the lesbian scene, when she goes, "Oh, here comes a foreign invasion." I was like, okay, that was just terribly written. I don't think anyone's really going to miss the Sand sisters, the Sand family. They just every time they're on screen, they're a distraction.
Okay, moving on to story. Once again, guys, we can't just talk about Targaryens and every fucking episode. So we try to talk about acting, some people that actually suck in this show, because it is a fantastic show. But story, Cycli, take it with... You just saw it, right?
Yeah, I literally just finished the episode.
You're the freshest guy, man. Yeah, tell us about the story of episode 2.
I think it's pretty obvious. We're in a shorter season with seven episodes, so it's going to be action-packed. So the second was more of a setup episode. I think you guys would agree with that.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of movement outside of the last 10 minutes in that fight scene. But the big one for me is Arya's decision to move north instead of continuing on her mission to get to Cersei when she found out that Jon had taken over Winterfell. It's going to be interesting to see what that creates, because when was the last time Sansa and Arya were together? Season 1. What is she going to do when she gets up there? That's going to be a big part of the story, because we're building into a story that we kind of already know. The season's going to end with Daenerys and Cersei. So that kind of stuff is kind of obvious, but I'm interested to see what happens with the Starks, what happens in the North, kind of a more unknown. So I was excited about that build-up.
Banner?
I'm going to go with the same character in Arya, but fucking Nymeria's coming back. How cool is that?
Nymeria and Ghost are the only two wolves still alive, I believe, right? I think those are the only two.
I believe so, yeah.
I believe that was a trivia question the other night at the bar, and that was the answer.
And that's the only reaon that you know it is because you did Game of Thrones trivia, and you got one fucking question right where you were just pounding shots. I think I'm really interested to see what they do with that. I know that there's a huge storyline with Nymeria and how that's a woman warrior in the books, and she gets this pack of wolves to follow her. So it's really cool that they kind of brought her back. I'm interested to see if they continue with that storyline as Arya starts to move forward. Maybe Nymeria comes and saves her somehow. Is she still going to follow her? And last thing I'd like to just real mention is I fucking hate the character of Samwell, and it's really pissing me off that they're making him a linchpin character. And it pains me to say that I'm actually liking where they're going with his storyline, with him kind of becoming this maester and learning everything.
I have an interesting theory to add to that, Brian, here a little bit about Samwell, so I think you're going to be excited.
To go off that, I hate Samuel too. I've hated him the entire time when he was trying to in the Night's Watch, and he was basically like John Candy off Stripes, like the fat guy in the military who can't do a push-up. But I was kind of over him. But at least he's kind of like a Doctor Strange, if you will, to this. He's getting his smarts up, and he's going to be a really good, I don't even know what to call it, a consultant to some of the armies because he might know more about Dragonstone. I think he's going to cure Jara. I think he really is from that fucking skin disease that really just looked like when I fell off my bike. Yeah, that was.
Did anybody else almost throw up in that scene?
Not as much as the shit scene from episode 1, but yeah, that was. It basically just looked like a big, like, fucking scar all over his body. It was fucking disgusting. So going right off that, I don't think anyone's gonna pick this, but best scene, Banner.
I'm just gonna be a little pussy and take the low hanging fruit. That end fight scene on the boats between the Greyjoys and the Greyjoys was phenomenal. I don't talk about cinema and lighting a whole lot. The lighting, though, in that scene with the fire and backlit, and I just loved how they did that. I also like that it wasn't the quick cuts between, oh, here's a punch, here's a fight, blah, blah, blah. You actually got to see somebody pick up a sword, swing it, slice somebody's fucking guts out, blood go everywhere, and then put the sword down, and let's go to the next one and do it again. There wasn't the cut from this angle to that angle. We actually saw the entire motion, which I thought was really cool.
Cycling, before I get to you, Banner, really quick, I know I'm getting ahead of myself on theories. I've read something online that all was plotted to try to get, like, that was Theon's last test and he failed because he jumped ship. Do you even think that's remotely true at all? Because the Greyjoys fuck with people a lot, it seems like.
No, Theon's just a fucking bitch.
No, guys, you guys are wrong. He wasn't being a bitch. He's going to go find Gendry, who's rowing around in the middle of the ocean. He's like, oh, shit, Gendry's out there, and he's going to go find him. He wasn't being a bitch. Come on.
Okay. Off topic, but best scene, Cycling.
See, I felt that this episode didn't have anything that stood out too much to me. So in terms of my fandom, I actually think the scene where her name's Melisandre, the Red Woman, gets to Dragonstone and meets with Daenerys and Tyrion and all of them. And what was cool about that scene is you're seeing all these worlds come together. And you saw all these people who you've existed with since season 1 start talking about Jon Snow. And that was really cool. You know, that was the first time they've ever, Daenerys had even heard of Jon Snow. And these two characters that, in my opinion, are the epitome of the show, The Song of Fire and Ice. To me, it's Jon and Daenerys finally learning about each other. And so, that scene, to me, was what we've been building up slowly all these years. And so I absolutely loved that scene.
My best scene is more of a setup scene, but whenever they're looking at the statue of Ned Stark and it was Jon Snow and Littlefinger, and Littlefinger is doing what he does best, just fuck with people. And he's like, yeah, I really respected your father. Even basically he's the one that had him murdered. He said, I loved your mother too, but she didn't really care for you. And just getting under Jon's skin, and Jon shoves him up against the wall and said, if you touch my sister, I'll kill you. A lot of shit's going to happen in Winterfell while Jon Snow's gone, and Littlefinger is going to be in the middle of it like he always is. And that scene, when I first saw that, I was like, okay. I always knew this was going to happen. If you go back and watch the King of the North scene, and you get goosebumps. I didn't, because I saw Littlefinger's face over there being like, how can I fucking twist this around and get Sansa on my side? That's, if you go back and watch that scene and watch his face, but that was my favorite scene.
And I have something to point out to that. I'm sure you guys noticed that. So Jon obviously puts him in a chokehold against the wall. Well, in season 1, guess who put Littlefinger in a chokehold against the wall in a crypt in season 1?
Nedar. What's he doing now? Okay. Theories.
Just fucking chilling.
Banner.
So my theory is, I took credit. I'm going to take credit from this. I've read it online a little bit, but the more I think about it, the more I've kind of developed in my head a little bit. The rumor is out there is that you have, for every dragon, there's a Targaryen, right? So you have 3 dragons. Who are your 3 Targaryens? You've got Daenerys Stormborn, that's one. Jon Snow is another one. Who's your third? I think it is Tyrion Lannister. Wow. Lannisters were their hand of the king to the Mad King. She was there. She had an affair with whoever, the Mad King or Rhaegar, or whatever the fuck his name was. So it makes sense that Tyrion isn't necessarily a Lannister. He's also the only one that's a dwarf, and he's also the only one that's not fucking retarded, too. They're all kind of power-hungry weirdos. Like, you either are power-hungry or you fuck your sister, and he's smart. So goes along the lines of he's actually intelligent, gets that from the dragon side. I think in this next episode, episode 3, we're going to have all 3 Targaryens in the same room, and they're going to figure it out. They're going to say, wait a minute, you're a Targaryen? I'm a Targaryen. Well, how do you know you're a Targaryen? Well, this is how. Somehow, I think Bran
Aren't they going to need Bran to figure it out?
Yeah, Bran somehow is going to come into play in this. I don't know how, but
would Daenerys' brother count?
We got on air. So. Huh?
Would Daenerys' brother count, who died? Would he count?
He's dead. He doesn't count. Come on.
Yes. Okay.
It's a foolproof plan. Foolproof plan.
Cycling.
What do you got, Cycling?
So, okay, there was 2 I was debating with. One was more serious, but, Banner, you brought it out of me with your disdain of Samuel Tully. So, and this is kind of a borrowed idea. I saw something on Reddit and thought it was brilliant. So, Samuel, we're talking about how he's kind of like, some people don't like him. He keeps kind of growing a little bit as a character, getting more and more important. He's discovered the dragon glass under Dragonstone, and he's obviously going to be a huge advisor in the wars to come. Jon trusts him more than anyone. So like you said, Matt, he's going to be advisor to one of these generals. Well, what's going to happen when Daenerys and Jon are going to get married and they're going to rule on the Iron Throne together? That's how it's going to end. Twist ending, though, Sam is going to kill both of them when no one is expecting it. He will then take his seat on the Iron Throne, and that's how it's going to end. And then 20 years later, 30 years later, we're going to see a fat Sam with a big white beard.
Like a fucking Santa Claus Sam.
Who is that? That's George R.R. Martin. Holy fucking shit. And he bends over writing the story of his life. You know what that story is called? A Song of Fire and Ice. And that is what is going to happen in end credits. Sam is George R.R. Martin.
We're going to have to play Fire and Ice to outro us tonight because it's been referenced twice and I need to hear it. Okay, I did have a theory that one of the wolves was actually Balto, and that connects to a Disney film, but I want to bring up one other theory that I've thought for a while, and that's Jaime is going to kill his sister strictly on basically the family crest. A Lannister always pays their debts, and their debt to the Targaryens is a crown. That's his debt right now because he took it from him. And he's going to pay him back by killing his sister and giving it to Daenerys Stormborn.
Wow, you heard it here first, folks.
And that's not from I come up with shit because I drink a lot of beer and smoke some weed and just, I think of stuff. So there you go. Okay, guys, that is our Season 7, Episode 2 review. Check us back here next Monday for Season 7, Episode 3 and throughout the series. We've been the Bro4 Squad. Check us out. Bro4Squad.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. We're on Twitter at Bro4Squad and Facebook Bro4Squad Podcast. Till then, we'll see you later.